All right, welcome back to Deathwing. We're gonna continue playing this for probably one more chapter, and then I am going to make my final verdict on whether to continue or not. I thought about just cutting the series at the end of the last chapter, but I've got a few things I want to, you know, make sure of first, and then pass my judgment on it. I don't think anything is going to dramatically change. I think this is a game with many, many very serious issues with it. And I'm hoping that regardless of how I feel at the end of this chapter, that I can reflect on it with a little bit more nuance than the typical takes I have heard given about this game, where people mostly just say it's bad. I like to think I have a little bit more nuance to my criticism. So let's go in here. I'm gonna try and take some information into account, and then we'll see how it goes.
We are picking up a faint Dark Angel's beacon signal from a point where no warrior from the chapter should be. It seems to originate from the cluster of ships we believe may contain an ancient Dark Angel's vessel.
Seems like a very good reason not to investigate if nobody should be there.
Proceed with caution, brother. The secrets of the past pursue us.
Especially if it's near a place called the Dissecting Room. That seems bad. All right. What have we got? I think we got the claws, right? So we got the flamer. Did we have that before? Storm bolter, assault cannon, heavy flamer, the claw. So I think the heavy flamer would also remove our offhand, right? Yeah, it would force us to use the power fist. Really wish that would switch back when it Wait, the power fist does more damage than the force sword? Is it better in all respects except for speed? That seems wild, because it's not even dramatically faster. Force weapons effectively act as deadly psychic extensions of the wheel. Offers a 40% bonus on spell cooldown. I mean, okay. I also picked up new powers, so I want chain lightning here. Love how I don't get a description of the... It's over here. Okay, I need to talk about the problems with the UI, because, like, I talked about it right at the beginning, and I've talked about Struman's problems with their UIs in previous games, and in the context of games that I haven't played on this channel. It's just a mess. It's always a mess, and it's a problem. It's a problem. It's detrimental to things that are otherwise okay. It actively, like, having a UI UX that is unintuitive or not well planned, or like things are obscured too much, can actively very significantly harm a player experience, or just user experience if you're not talking about games, if you're talking about software. This is something I talk about a lot. If you've been around, you know I talk about this a bunch. But, like, so it was pointed out to me that in one of the previous missions, when I had to restart, I did not in fact have to restart. I could have pressed the load button. Alright, so multiple problems with that. One, the order of the buttons on the screen was restart, and then menu, and then load, I think. So, and they are all the same shape, size, and color. So it's unintuitive first and foremost which one of them is the like default. At least if you have a like pop-up menu in the middle where the top, you assume the one at the top is the first one. Here's the default one, right? The thing you would do next by default. So if the thought is, okay, I just died, I would like to go back to the latest checkpoint, which there are in this game, you would assume that the first option would be the like least destructive one, right? Vertically, it's obvious, it's the one at the top. Horizontally, not as obvious, but you'd at least assume it was the one on the left. If you are an English-speaking person, then you read from left to right, so left tends to be the latest thing. If you have no other distinctive features telling you that that's the right thing, no color, shape, size, or even like default selection highlight to tell you, you'd probably assume that's the right one. The language also doesn't help you. The language of restart or load sort of seems to suggest that a load, if it's not the default option, would probably be like a go back even further kind of thing, rather than reset to checkpoint or something like that. That language could help as well, but it's also not present. So, yes, I missed that I might have been able to not redo some or all of that, but a whole bunch of things are working against me in that respect, which is very unfortunate. Anyway, that's just a little tangent. I have barely gotten... So my point here was that if I highlight this and the information is over here, that's bad. That's terrible. It's terrible. It's like I have to... Listen, I'm not like way up on my monitor, but I'm not super far away from it either. And maybe if you were playing this like at a couch distance or something like that, it would be more obvious. But my eyes are over here. This is like basically out of my range of vision. So if the only way I know that it's over there is I happen to catch out of the corner of my eye the animation change because the text changed, that's bad. Okay. Anyway, that teleporting to your enemy sounds both good and terrible. Alright. So now have you gotten anything new, or are you all the same? Okay. You're basically the same. You're the same. It's just bizarre that you can even take off the... Unless you can heal without it? I don't know. Anyway, I think that's good enough. Let's get started before I go on another tangent. I'll leave most of my like really rambly stuff for the final video in the series.
That signal is far beyond the advance of our vanguard slots. Whose signal is it?
It's either extremely old or extremely fake, which can only go well. Okay, one thing I do want to do actually is ensure that I want to go into this with the mentality of this being a Space Hulk game. I'm going to try and make more use of the tactical stuff, which is frankly fairly unintuitive to use in the game as it's presented. But anyway, let's see. So let me make sure let me try and memorize the bindings real quick. Torch? Is that... I'm sorry, is that flash? Okay, it's very British. That's fine. I would love to know if having that on or off actually makes a difference. If that affects detection or anything, but okay. So psi abilities, the psi gate, heal, move, heal is H, move is G, attack is V. Why is this lowercase and the other ones are uppercase? So this is just the kind of polish that just... like, it doesn't necessarily say anything. It just seems like nobody checked, you know? Attack order V. Open, close order, lock, unlock order. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can order them to lock or unlock doors. I can order them to stop, open and move forward, and F to follow. Okay, so heal, move, and follow are probably going to be the most important ones. This would really be probably I would say this is an underrated thing to learn. The problem is this is basically an FPS, so having everything be hotkeying these things is a little bit, I don't know. It's not the typical FPS gamer's experience, and the rest of this is not the typical like experience for a strategy gamer. I'll get into that when I talk about the game more, but the hell is this? All right. Oh, I needed to go out in one door and out the other. Or in one door and out the pipes, I guess. No doors here. Really wish the head bob was not so aggressive. It is very aggressive. Another thing that I sort of forgot. These are not... part of it is the designs. I am not the most well-versed person when it comes to the designs of various 40k things, so I'll take the hit on that one. This is not standard Astartes power armor. This is Terminator armor. I am gonna say that some of the designs here look a little less Terminator-y to me, but again, I'm not the most knowledgeable on this front. Oh, that we're actually supposed to go down here. I'm like, what? Where are we going? So Terminator armor is a lot heavier, reduces mobility, so some of this is a bit understandable. Hey guys, could you shoot them, please? We really need a like priority target.
Operation finished.
Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so I don't know how to... Ugh. Hold on. How do I make... I didn't want to heal myself twice. I wanted to heal the other guy. The F1 just selects who... Okay, I guess that doesn't really... Oh, there's a tiny yellow highlight that circles the characters to tell you... Okay. So again, problem with the user experience, and the visuals in the user interface. That tiny yellow single pixel ring around the character portraits, which are already very small, especially in the middle of first-person shooter combat, is completely insufficient to do what needs to be done. All right. We're gonna go this way. I think this is the safer option. Hold on. No, this is going back the other way. We need to get to here, it said, right? Why is there no marker? Okay, whatever. Let's go this way and hope that... Oh, never mind. All right. Having the enemies be so unreactive to fire most of the time, they're in one of three states. They're either running, attacking, or they have a single very stock like stun or like stagger animation. Oh, that's not good. Oh Lord. All right. Yeah, I saw that one. Not being able to identify which ones are the bombers is painful. The designs are just a little bit too hard to read at a distance. Oh, fuck me. Wait. Oh, that's also a turret. Shit. This is a terrible place to be. Let's get out of here. See, like, the fact that I can't stagger that guy at all is kind of a serious issue. Like, you know, if there's some guy who's got a big, heavy weapon, you'd think that your priority would be hit that guy so he stops hitting you. Ah, fuck. Why are my abilities not working?
Action complete.
Hold on. Do my abilities not have a... Do my abilities only have a cooldown? Am I misunderstanding how they work? I thought the bar on the green bar on the left of my readout was the thing that controlled my psi abilities, but it seems like not. Unless it is? And that's also why I wasn't casting before? Okay. Fuck me. We need to go this way. Oh god. Jesus. Fuck. Are the exploding ones the ones that hiss, or do they all make the same noise? The hell am I tripping on? Are you serious? The little guy at my feet that wasn't clearly animated? Guys, shoot the enemy. God. Whew. Yeah, mission accomplished. You healed yourself. I can't believe I have to tell you to do that. I really wish there was a firing mode where I had better vision, but I wasn't, like, at this point I'm fighting between very zoomed out. I have two firing modes. I have very zoomed out where I can barely see things at a distance, and everything is very gray and brown. And the other firing mode is way zoomed in and everything is glaringly highlighted. There's no in between. Norn's Ghost Log. Praise the Emperor. Verification of collected materials. Batch 2922 / overall condition mediocre. Hostility none. Material collected in the last Hive World. Why would you do that? On the last Hive World seems to have no trace of corruption. The overall status is mediocre, but the stasis and tanks should stabilize it. Nevertheless, it seems to be of top psychic quality. Batch 2922 to reserve for the Golden Palace. The preceding batches can be redirected to the Astronomicon. Suggestion: increase the power of the psychic shields around this batch. Warn the Black Sentinels of the intensity of batch 2922. Psychic lock essential for batch 2922. Collected material does not seem corrupt, but seems to have recovered all its power and stasis. Psychic activity seems to have increased considerably. The presence of another psychic entity nearby seems to further stimulate the batch. It goes without saying that habitual storage near other batches is risky. Suggestion: we get rid of batch 2922. Suggestion: warp exit when possible. Suggestion: Alright, so this is interesting, actually, and is one of the reasons I don't want to give up on this game. Or so this is why 40k is interesting. It's also the reason 40k is kind of inaccessible. 40k is a lore that is very deep and hard to get into because there's no dipping your toes in it. I mean, you can, but like there's always a wait, but let me go back 30, 40, 50,000 years and explain something else because it's important to the story. But like, this is going to be nonsense text to somebody who knows nothing about 40k. To me, who's again kind of a casual fan, basically what this is saying. So I wasn't sure whether they were initially wasn't sure what they were referring to. Hive World is a little bit loosey goosey. It's kind of on purpose because it's sort of the joke that despite humans being humans, that we still have places called hive worlds. So do the terminology is fuzzy. Humans don't usually live in hives as we usually talk about humanity in a current era. What it's saying here is basically, okay, so this ship visited one of the major worlds in the Imperium that makes humans. And I am using that like both literally and figuratively because the point of the world to the Imperium is that it is very dense with people. Now that doesn't implicitly mean they're like literally cranking them out of a factory. It's not, nobody's thinking on their day-to-day basis, oh, I am a drone for the Imperium, but that's sort of the whole attitude of the Imperium is these are people, sure, and we protect humanity, but also literally the very technical clinical discussion being had here is basically we went to a world with a lot of people. We took our usual collection, which in this case is the psychers that have been rounded up. The top performing ones, like all psychers are considered to be like kind of evil. I'm very simplifying it, but okay, we need to send the best quality ones to Terra, to the Golden Palace, to the Golden Throne, because I think I've discussed it before on this. The whole point of that is the Emperor is the greatest psyker of all of humanity, and in order to sustain him in his dying, undeath state, psychers have to be sacrificed to him. Basically, their psychic power is drained from them and given to him. This is all sort of like a known secret. You know, it's like super not okay according to all the rhetoric of the Imperium, but the reality is that, like, oh, but it's, you know, for a good cause, which is keeping the Emperor alive, because the Emperor is the most important entity in our humanity's universe. So what it's saying here is the top quality psychers that we harvested from this world are going to be sent to Terra to be sacrificed because they will make for the best fuel for the Emperors. The next best ones will be sent to the Astronomicon, because the Astronomicon is basically like they deal with all of the psychers that help with navigation and communications. Basically, it's these are other sanctioned psychers that are sanctioned to live because they serve the Imperium's purpose of either well, they're not navigators, because the Navis Nobili, there's a whole like there's basically this is what I'm talking about. You can't talk about one thing without talking about a whole bunch of other things. All of the navigators in the Imperium, or basically all of them, come from like families, basically families of inbred psychers that all have these series of genes that allow them, that give them these special mutant powers that, in addition to be psychically capable, they also can specifically have these things to let them read the warp. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. But the Astronomicon deals with a whole bunch of stuff, including navigation, communications. Anyway, that was a big ass tangent. Let's take a quick break. I need to get a sip of water, and we'll come back.